Stevie Daniels. The time now is 4:30 on this Friday Eve. Let's look at your full forecast. This morning, we are starting off dry out there with some more clouds hovering across the area. I am tracking some low-level clouds that satellite is currently picking up on, more in the way of rain activity focused across the state of Michigan, all driven by a cold front that is going to hold off on sliding through until we head into the weekend, especially on Saturday. But taking a look at temps, because we do have some low-level clouds hovering overhead, that is preventing some areas from dropping near that freezing mark. One of those locations being right around the Inner Harbor, sitting at 39 degrees, upper 30s as well, out towards Annapolis, right at that freezing mark for everyone over in Bel Air, 36 across Frederick County. But keep in mind, we still have frost and also freeze alerts underway until the mid-morning time frame, as temperatures could fall as low as 27 degrees for areas highlighted in purple. Not only could this harm or kill any sensitive vegetation that you have outside, if you hopefully you covered them up or brought them indoors last night, but it also could potentially harm any unprotected outdoor plumbing that you have. So hopefully you took all the proper precautions to protect the plumbing and protect the plants. We have frost advisories from the Baltimore Metro, southern Baltimore County, all the way down through southern Maryland. Temps today are going to trend a milder than yesterday, where we only had highs in the low 50s as expected. We do have a fair amount of sunshine in store through the afternoon, which could help give us a boost back near that 60-degree mark. So we have a more seasonal day ahead. Temps will be a little bit cooler the farther north you head, closer to the state line. Mid-50s for areas right around Bel Air and Parkton. The Inner Harbor, though, you guys could touch 60 degrees as we approach the middle part of the afternoon. High pressure is still going to be in control, even though it's moving steadily offshore. We have winds flowing in out of the southeast, very light in nature. We have some patchy fog that could form as we head into the overnight, and looking at another day filled with sunshine heading into your Friday. But throughout the middle part of the month, the Climate Prediction Center actually predicts that a good chunk of the United States, preferably the eastern half, could experience above normal warmth. We have a dramatic rise in the temperature department next week. Stevie Daniels, the time now is 4:47 on this Friday Eve. Here's a look at your super 7-day forecast. Dress warm this morning. We're waking up with numbers in the 30s out there. We still have those frost and freeze alerts underway until the 9 o'clock hour. But as we approach the middle part of the day, we should be climbing back into the lower 50s and then nearing 60 degrees this afternoon. Lots of sunshine, light winds out of the southeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then some patchy fog develops overnight. We only fall into the 40s as we wake up tomorrow morning. Overall, tomorrow is going to be a great day to take your furry friend for a walk, or even today as well. Winds will be very calm and relaxed. We should be nearing 70 degrees tomorrow afternoon, 71 for a high temperature at BWI. Keeping temps above average as we head into the weekend. Saturday's setup is looking marvelous. A high temperature of 70 degrees with a noticeable breeze out of the north, gusts around 20 to 25, but it's going to feel very comfortable out there. So make sure to get outside this weekend. This weekend is going to be great for any outdoor plans that you have. Then we have a very dramatic rise in the temperature department, especially after Monday. I'm meteorologist Stevie Daniels. The time now is 5 o'clock this morning. We are taking a look at the latest alerts. Just like yesterday, we have freeze warnings underway until the 9 o'clock hour for areas highlighted in purple. This also includes Cecil County all the way down through Talbot and Caroline, the Baltimore Metro, southern Baltimore County, down towards Anne Arundel County, and portions of Howard County under a frost advisory. As temperatures are likely going to stay a little bit above that freezing mark, it's going to be feeling a little bit colder across the higher elevations. Damage to unprotected plumbing, that is a possibility, and also damage to any sensitive vegetation that you have already planted outside. Hopefully you covered them up, you made ways to protect them before you went to bed last night, because here's a look at temps. Right now, we are not frost free. We are still dealing with temperatures right around that freezing mark, even a little bit above it, but we have low clouds hovering overhead, which is helping to keep some spots like the Inner Harbor down towards Annapolis in the upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Stevie Daniels. The time now is 5:07 on this Friday Eve morning. We are dealing with extra low clouds out there right now over downtown Baltimore. Baltimore, you can actually see some of those clouds hovering low in the sky, back off in the distance as well. This could have an impact on frost and freeze conditions this morning. It is preventing some areas from falling into the low 30s, even right around that freezing mark. One of those areas is actually downtown Baltimore, sitting at 38 degrees because those clouds are acting like a blanket to help keep some of that heat near the ground, whereas locations closer to Bel Air and Parkton near that freezing mark and looking at that freezing temperature right over towards Elkton in Cecil County. So we do have freeze warnings underway once again until the 9 o'clock hour for areas in purple. Up and down the eastern shore, the same story. Frost advisories from the metro southward as temperatures are likely going to stay above that freezing mark. This is why we say it's probably best to hold off on gardening those sensitive plants until after Mother's Day because April is a transition month. It is not frost free. Here's a look at your day planner. We have temps making their way back up into the lower 50s right around noon, increasing that sunshine as the day moves forward with high temperatures nearing average this afternoon with highs near that 60-degree mark. So we'll climb a little bit higher in the temperature department today. And the pollen count is looking a little bit higher than yesterday. Higher levels of maple, elm, and poplar can be expected at a 9.3. I got this data from pollen.com. You might find yourself a little bit more congested, sneezing a little bit more. Take those allergy meds and find ways to mitigate those seasonal symptoms. Taking a look at futurecasts, we stay dry today, increasing that sunshine heading into the afternoon with some patchy fog developing as we head into your Friday morning. We have more sunshine to go around for tomorrow, so we keep this dry streak continuing throughout the rest of this week and also pretty much as we head throughout the weekend. We do have a cold front that's going to drop through on Saturday, but it's looking pretty moisture starved. So actually we have very limited rain chances over the next several days. Your 7-day forecast back up into the low 70s starting tomorrow. We kick that fog out of here throughout the morning, increasing that sun later in the day. Lower 70s on Saturday and Sunday, and then into and also frost advisories across the area. So just like yesterday, we have the potential for frost to form, which could harm not only plants, but also any unprotected outdoor plumbing. So hopefully marker a little bit below it. So that's why areas are highlighted in that blue color. But here's a glance at current temps outside. You can see them around our most rural locations. That's where we're seeing the cooler air setup shop right at freezing in Bel Air and Parkton, 31 degrees in Elkton, but the Inner Harbor down towards Annapolis sitting in the upper 30s to even the lower 40s this morning. The reason for that, we have some low-level clouds which are trapping that heat near the ground. That's the reason why some of those locations around the city southward are not under those freeze warnings. But we do have temps climbing near average today with highs in the upper 50s to even into the lower 60s. We are going to be a little bit cooler out there today, but I'll have more details on what you can expect coming up in my full forecast. Back to you.
All right, Stevie, thanks.
Stevie Daniels. The time now is 5:45 on this Friday Eve. Let's take a look at the latest alerts because once again, we are starting off with some freeze warnings out there until the 9 o'clock hour. Temps could dip a little bit below that freezing mark, possibly down into the upper 20s for areas highlighted in purple, also including areas up and down the eastern shore. Frost advisories underway until the mid-morning time frame for the metro down towards Anne Arundel County, even Washington, D.C., because temps are likely going to hover right around or just slightly above that freezing mark because we do have plenty of low clouds hovering overhead, which is helping to keep some areas a little bit warmer. So that's the reason why Annapolis is feeling a little bit warmer, sitting at a temperature of 40 degrees compared to Parkton in the Hereford zone, 32 for you all, 35 out in Frederick, and down towards Clinton sitting at 33. So dealing with some of those low clouds this morning, which is helping to limit the amount of frost potential that we have, but those alerts are still underway for the next few hours. As we take a look at your planner today, we do have a little bit more sunshine to work with as we head into the afternoon. So starting off rather chilly, you'll need the extra layer on, but today we actually climb back near average. We could be hitting that 60-degree mark today. Yesterday we only were in the lower 50s, so today is going to feel a little bit warmer. We'll likely feel that temperature rise. But also the pollen count is rising a little bit compared to yesterday. Now today we're at a 9.3 according to pollen.com. Maple, elm, and poplar, the top allergens today. So don't be surprised if you feel a little bit more congested out there or if you find yourself sneezing a little bit more frequently. I promise those allergy meds will help you out and manage a good way to manage your symptoms is just staying inside to reduce those seasonal symptoms. But taking a glance at Futurecast, a lot of cloud cover down towards the middle and lower end of Delmarva, but mostly clear skies across the state of Maryland throughout the afternoon. Patchy fog sets up shop as we head into your Friday, but that clears out of the area by mid-morning, and we will be dealing with a little bit more in the way of sunshine throughout the second half of the day. So we're feeling a little bit cool out there today, but I promise the warm up is on the horizon. We have a little bit of an increase and a little bit of a rise in that jet stream as it tracks a little bit farther north. We're talking about temperatures in the mid to upper 80s by the middle of next week. Look at this 7-day fork around the heart of the city, and even Annapolis still sitting at that 40-degree mark. We have some of those low-level clouds hovering overhead right around the metro southward. So this is also helping to keep some of the area a little bit milder than the rural locations. But our northern friends and also areas up and down the eastern shore under these freeze warnings until 9 o'clock. Frost advisories are in place until the 9 o'clock hour as well for the metro, Anne Arundel County, portions of Howard County, and also Washington, D.C., as temps are likely going to stay above that freezing mark because of those clouds. We do have some of those clouds this morning, but we are looking at a little bit more in the way of sunshine as we head into the afternoon. I am tracking bright and sunny skies from Annapolis to Columbia and even out towards Bel Air in Harford County with light winds out of the southeast. We should be making our way up into the mid and upper 50s for most today. I'll break down more details on when we'll really start to warm things up coming up in my full forecast. Christy? I go to bed extremely early, so I may be in the minority here. But yes, not looking at your phone, I feel like it really helps me out. But you want to make sure you're paying close attention to the forecast, though. So if you're just waking up, just make sure to wipe your eyes and look at this alert map. We do have freeze warnings and frost advisories underway once again. Do not leave the house without the puffy winter coat. It is feeling cold out there. We have numbers dipping down near that freezing mark, even a little bit below it up and down the eastern shore. Frost advisories for the metro southward as temps could fall a little bit above that freezing mark, right around 33 degrees, as low as that. So right around central Maryland, hovering near that freezing mark, Haverty Grace and Jarrettsville sitting right at 32 degrees, 40 in Annapolis. So feeling a tad bit milder, even down towards Chesapeake Beach, because some of those low-level clouds are hovering overhead, trying to trap some of that heat. And you can see that satellite, if you look really closely, it's picking up on some of those low-lying clouds that are hovering right around the metro and down towards Washington, D.C., and for our friends farther southwest of us. But as we head into the afternoon, we'll start to clear out those clouds. We increase that sunshine, and that is going to help us rise back near average today. So yesterday, we were right around 51 degrees at the airport. Today, I am forecasting highs near normal, near 60 degrees. Love to see that. And Futurecast shows that we stay dry and quiet today, just dealing with a light southeasterly wind, which is going to help keep us right around that 60-degree temperature. And then a little bit more in the way of high-level clouds as we head overnight. I wouldn't be surprised if we woke up to some patchy fog, which could reduce visibilities as you start your day tomorrow morning. It should pretty much lift and be out of here by 9 to 10 o'clock. And then we do have a fair amount of sunshine with the southerly wind in store for your Friday, which is going to help boost our numbers back above average. Today, your pollen count is looking a little bit higher than yesterday at a 9.3, so still in that medium to high territory. And that's going to be the case even throughout the weekend. A little bit of a dip in the pollen category for Friday and Saturday. Tree pollen is still at its peak throughout the month of April. So if you are allergic to maple, elm, or even poplar, just make sure to take those allergy meds. While the pollen count is looking to be on the medium to high end of the scale, the rain chances are going to be extremely low. So over the next several days, so this is not good for ongoing drought concerns. We're still suffering from moderate drought conditions across much of central Maryland, so we do need the rain. Also, frost advisories this afternoon will be climbing back to near seasonal levels, back near 60 degrees with ample sunshine. If you do want to garden today, a great day for it, or even to light up the grill, do some yard work outside. Skies will be dry. We keep a lot of that sunshine around throughout your Friday, waking up to some patchy fog in the morning, so I would hold off on walking your furry friend until the afternoon. Give temps enough time to warm up. It's going to be in the lower 70s tomorrow and then back to the lower 70s on your Saturday. Sunny skies. Saturday setup is looking marvelous, so make sure to get outside this weekend. That is in order. Any outdoor plans that you have over the weekend, giving you 2 thumbs up for that, because it is going to be bright and beautiful, a little bit more spring-like, and then eventually summer-like next week. So we have a lot to look forward to. This morning we're starting off dry, so that's some positive news. Not a whole lot to get in the way of your morning commute, but just keep in mind it's feeling chilly, so looks can be a little bit deceiving. Not a bad looking start to the day. We do have plenty of low clouds hovering around the area and even back off towards West Virginia. This is what satellite is currently picking up on, even across Virginia as well. And because some of these clouds are hovering right around the city and southward, even down to the southwest, that's why areas are a little bit milder compared to the more rural locations like Parkton and also Elkton, sitting right at freezing, 32 degrees over in Bel Air, and a little bit colder for spots from Cecilton all the way down towards Easton. In fact, Denton just dropped to 28 degrees right now. So because temps are this low, that warrants freeze warnings until the 9 o'clock hour for our friends highlighted in purple, but then areas in blue under frost advisories. Temps are still projected to stay a little bit above freezing, but there still could be frost that forms even with temperatures above that freezing mark. On average, the last frost for Annapolis was back in March, on March 23rd, Chestertown, April 3rd for you all, April 10th at BWY, and Miller's April 19th. This is why we say it's safe to plant and do a lot of that gardening after Mother's Day, because April is a transition month just like March, so we're not frost free. Looking at your dog walking forecast, Sydney is eager to get outside. I don't blame her at all. It's going to look very beautiful out there, sunny skies that will take us through the afternoon with a high temperature of 60 degrees. So nearing average today. Lots of sunshine. That's what Futurecast shows. A few areas of some fog. They could develop as we head into the overnight. Winds will be more southerly throughout the day, helping us to climb back a little bit above average. So get ready, because the 70s will come back in style starting tomorrow. But unfortunately, we have limited rain chances over the next several days, so this is not going to help us out in the drought department. The next drought monitor map actually updates in the next couple of hours, so I'll make sure to post that on my social media pages for you to check out. But currently, we are still under a moderate drought for spots north and west of the Chesapeake Bay. So tomorrow, starting off with some fog, you might need to use those low beams when you hit the roads in the morning, 71 degrees during the afternoon. If you have any outdoor plans this weekend, it is looking beautiful. Wide open sunshine, highs in the low 70s, morning temps in the 40s and 50s, and then